Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the final round of the 14th Annual Junior Achievement of New York Business Plan Competition. I'm Joe Perry. I'm the President and CEO of Junior Achievement of New York, and I'm really thrilled to be with all of you here today. Please keep everything on mute. The finals event of the business plan competition is really an exciting time for us here at Junior Achievement of New York, because it's an opportunity for us to hear from high school students participating in this competition who've really been working tirelessly for months now, and have them have a chance to finally share their big ideas with an audience of their peers, educators, volunteers, judges, and other guests. You know, since February, the students have been busy imagining products and services that will make the world a better place. They've been crafting budgets, refining marketing strategies, and practicing and honing their pitches to wow a panel of judges. And today's the day. We're finally here. And if last week's semifinals was any indication, you're all in for a great time this afternoon. I want to start out by thanking a few people, and I want to start with the founding sponsor of this competition, Chris Anderson of GE Anderson Partners. Chris Anderson is a member of our board of directors. He himself is a JA alumnus, and he was a driving force in envisioning and starting this program 14 years ago. And we do have a video message from Chris, and you'll get an opportunity to hear some remarks from him later today. So thank you so much to Chris Anderson. Next, I want to thank all of our volunteers who've taken the time out of their very busy schedules in this very unusual year to facilitate weekly workshops for all of the teams. It was a lot of work to get this done remotely throughout the course of the winter and spring, and we really appreciate the volunteers helping us to get over 100 student teams ready for the first benchmark of completing a business plan. So thank you to all of our volunteers. Next, I want to thank all of the mentors, the volunteer mentors who've coached the top teams to get them ready for the semifinals. Their coaching has helped to make sure that everyone was ready for the semifinals, was prepared as possible, and was able to give a compelling pitch during that process. Next, I want to thank our judges here today with us. We have terrific judges with us, one new and two returning. First, I want to introduce Gabriella Fitzgerald. Gabriella is a senior corporate executive who's a member of our Junior Achievement of New York Board of Directors and also our executive committee.
Hi, Monkey.
Welcome, Gabriella.
Did you miss me?
Next, we have
Bubba, sit up, bud.
Next, we have Scott Gerber. Scott is has been a judge here at this competition a number of times before, and he is a serial entrepreneur himself. And several years ago, we honored Scott as the Junior Achievement of New York Young Entrepreneur of the Year. So he's a great friend of Junior Achievement, a great champion of entrepreneurship. So welcome to Scott. And then last but not least, we have Awad Saeed. Awad is also a JA alum. And as a matter of fact, Awad was a participant in the first Junior Achievement of New York Business Plan competition 14 years ago as a member of the Brooklyn Tech team. He's now a successful entrepreneur himself, and really glad to have Awad here with him. So thank you again to all of our judges. I know that your insightful questions, comments, and yes, some probing questions will help to give the competition a real world relevance. Next, I want to thank our educators. You know, it's been, again, a very difficult and unusual year for you, we know. And we are really appreciative because we know that every day you work to empower and prepare your students for success. And this year you've had to go above and beyond even what is the normally high level of work that you have to put in every year. So we really appreciate that. We see firsthand every day what you do, and we honor your commitment to your students, and we thank you for all that you do. Okay, next I'd like to congratulate and introduce our 6 finalist teams from today's competition. And again, reminding everyone that over 100 teams started this competition back in February. So for you now to be here today is an incredible, incredible achievement, and you should all really reflect on that and really take pride in the fact that you are here as one of the 6 best of the best for this finals competition. So the first team we have up is CerebroTech from WT Clarke High School. Congratulations to them. Next, we have Globalert from Edward Murrow High School. Congratulations to Globalert. Next up, we have Lanes from the Academy of Finance and Enterprise. Congratulations to Lanes. Then we have Online Olympia from New Hyde Park Memorial High School. Congratulations to them. Next is Supply LI, or Supply, from Baldwin High School. Congratulations to Supply. And last but not least, this is a team that's a perennial returner to the finals. And here again, or a school that's a perennial returner to the finals, with a new team, Young Opportunity, from Brooklyn Technical High School. You guys made it through some very fierce competition last week at the semifinals. I know that was a tough day with very, very hard fought competition, and really want to applaud you for your hard work and dedication to this effort, not only this past week in getting ready, but really again from the very beginning of this competition. Great work. So we're all looking forward to hearing your presentations today. I want to wish you the best of luck. Again, I want to say that it's just a tremendous honor to be here. We will have final winners at the end of the competition, but you are all winners for making it this far. So congratulations again. I'm going to turn it over now to Aram Shin, who's going to review today's agenda and give some final reminders. Aram.
Thanks, Joe, for the welcome and introductions, as well as the special thank you shout outs to everyone who's been involved in making this a great program this year. So here is today's agenda. We are very much on time, and so we'll be starting with the first set of team presentations, starting with Supply, then Online Olympia, and then Globalert. We'll have a 10-minute break at 3:45, just so we can breathe a little, and then we'll be back at 3:55, hearing from Lanes, Young Opportunity, and then CerebroTech. There will be kind of a mini break there just to give judges time to deliberate and finalize their scores. And hopefully by 5 p.m., we'll have the results out and finish off with the final remarks. Just a few reminders, if you were here last Wednesday, they look very similar. Again, be proud of yourselves. You're representing your school, your communities. The fact that you're here means you've achieved a lot during the past few months. We do have a program book with all the information about the day. My colleague Diana just put it in the chat if you'd like to take a look at it and follow along. As a reminder, please try to keep your cameras on while you're presenting or doing the Q&A. We understand that there might be technical issues, so please don't worry about that. But if you can, have your camera on. And as for logistics, teams do have a strict limit of 10 minutes to present. Timekeepers, same as last time, will give you a 2-minute warning in the chat. And then when time is up, they will unmute to tell you to wrap up and finish there. Q&A will be same, 5 minutes. And because we're all in the same room in the main session today, please be respectful while the other teams are presenting. Make sure to keep yourself muted. Only the teams that are presenting should be unmuted at that time. And we may be taking screenshots during your presentation, so you probably won't know what's happening, but just so you know, it will be happening. And with that in mind, I like to take a screenshot of everyone here. Let me set up my screen. I'm loving all the backgrounds that I see. Okay. Actually, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, so it looks like we have about 2 panels. I mean, I need to split it up into 2. So I'll do a countdown, I'll take the screenshot, and then I'll do another countdown for the next one. So if you could have your cameras on, please, if you're able to. Okay, perfect. So 1, 2, 3. Awesome. And then the next one, ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect, thank you. All right, so without further ado, we'll get started with the team presentations. First up, we have Supply from Baldwin High School. Let's welcome Supply. We'll do a virtual clap. Okay, so Supply, please set up your presentation.
Also, Aram, we might just want to point out who to look for the 2-minute warning. So Caroline is going to be doing the first 3 teams. She's up there, she's giving a wave, and I'll be doing the last 3. So just to look for a visual 2, and we'll also type 2 minutes in the chat. So
Thank you. All right, Supply, whenever you're ready, please let us know, and then Caroline will start the timer for you.
Hey, I think we're ready.
Okay.
Hello, we are Supply, the best online delivered.
Hi, my name is Toyin Green, and I am the CEO.
Hi, my name is Sydney Sparks, and I am the CFO.
And I am Ayana Brown, the CMO.
The problem that we identified is that people want to experience Long Island without having the ability to travel to Long Island. They also want to have the ability to stay fit and eat healthy while the pandemic is going on and stay safe.
Our solution is Supply, a Long Island-based subscription box company that delivers the best Long Island right to your doorstep. Our subscription boxes supply a plethora of goods to customers so that they experience Long Island right from their home. Our products allow customers to experience Long Island in a box and stay healthy during the remainder of the pandemic. We have 2 boxes that promote staying healthy, the Wellness Box and the COVID Box. The Health Nut Box includes 7 to 9 Long Island-based products that are healthy and include a workout plan for the month that can be customized by each customer.
The idea for our company was conceived after we realized our true love for our home, Long Island. We recognize the numerous different vendors and small businesses on Long Island, and we want to be able to share our home with the world while supporting these small businesses at the same time. Supply is a Long Island-based subscription box company that was founded in 2021 with the purpose of stimulating Long Island's economy through educating the world on the true beauty of Long Island. Our mission is to promote local businesses and stimulate tourism in the Long Island area by providing our customers with a carefully curated assortment of local and artisanal products and experiences that represent the spirit of Long Island.
Our vision is to change the subscription box industry while showcasing the remarkable goods made on Long Island and bolstering local businesses.
Supply cannot be prouder of our philanthropy. We have chosen a Long Island-based charity each month by donating $3 from our profits from each of our boxes to various charities. Additionally, due to the current state of our country, we donate $2 from each of our COVID boxes that we sell to a different charity each month, supporting COVID relief efforts.
Our ideal customer is a middle-class person who is in the age range of 25 to 44. We expect mostly middle-aged women who like to cook or want to stay healthy and fit. Our ideal customer likes to travel, has electric taste, and loves to try new things on a regular basis.
Our competition is a large subscription box industry that offers a variety of different types of boxes to customers. What sets our subscription box separate from the competition is that our company does not just supply goods, but we supply an experience. Our experience package allows customers to feel as though they are really traveling to Long Island, as it includes an artisanal product from a local artist, craft breweries and wineries on Long Island, activities in the month, coupons for local businesses on Long Island, facts, and landmarks.
Our supply box and health nut box both offer monthly, quarterly, and yearly subscription packages. Our supply box includes 6 to 8 products from all over Long Island delivered right to your doorstep. Our health nut box includes 7 to 9 healthy Long Island-based goods and products. The newest addition to our product line is the COVID box. This box is a monthly subscription that provides you with all the essentials you need to combat the pandemic. We at Supply are very competitive with our pricing, which is decided based on real-world competitors. A majority of our sales and businesses are generated through our website. Our website is expertly designed to be both easy accessible to our customers while accurately representing our company. The remainder portion of our sales are made through direct sales and outreach contracts with customers.
Our marketing department has utilized multiple marketing strategies in order to spread awareness and connect with potential and continuing consumers. Our main tactic is social media, which sheds light on our company with promotions and loyalty rewards. To attract and keep customers, we first plan to advertise heavily on social media, since it has taken over the marketing world, but also uses traditional methods of advertising. We plan to advertise specifically on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, and the great thing about these methods of promotion are that they are free. Our products illustrate Long Island's image. We seek to portray the culture of Long Island while inspiring our customers to take part in local tourism.
For startup costs, the main chunk goes to professional fees and rent. For our professional fees, we found the average cost for a lawyer, patent, and developer, and for rent, we calculated the amount of square footage we would need per employee and then found our yearly cost. Our company doesn't require a ton of technology other than computers, so we came up with a small number for this cost. The same goes for office supplies. Our products do not include technology, so they don't require a ton of research. So this is also a low cost to us. Lastly, we believe that advertising and marketing is going to be huge in making our company into a success, so we dedicated a lot of our startup money to advertisement. Our company consists of 3 main subscription lines, including a COVID box, a supply box, and a health nut box. For the first year, we expect the COVID box to be the best seller because we are currently still in the pandemic. So we anticipate people to buy our boxes to stay healthy and safe during these uncertain times. After the first year, we anticipate the effects of the pandemic to wear off, so we will sell less COVID boxes each year. Our other 2 lines, the supply box and the health nut box, we expect to start out slow, but hopefully gain momentum over the years. We expect our health nut box to gain more attraction because we are geared to health and fitness, and we think there's a large market that our product caters to. As we grow as a company with the help of promotions, referrals, and great advertising, we predict our sales to increase each year for the supply box and the health nut box. When coming up with our prices, we compared our product to other similar subscription boxes and came up with prices that we thought were fair and affordable, but would also drive a decent profit margin. We are Supply, the best of Long Island, delivered.
Thank you. Now we'll have 5 minutes for our judges to ask questions.
Excellent presentation, everyone. First, just want to say this to you and all of your fellow competitors. If you all present as well as that was on Zoom, my staff will have some things to learn from all of you. So that's a good thing. So this question is sort of a two-part one. Can you walk me through how you actually put products into the box? So I want to better understand, how are you acquiring those products? How are you storing those products? What is the cost of those products? Because I'm trying to figure out things like, are we paying for the products we're putting in the boxes? Are business giving them for free? Talk me through that.
I think that our idea is that we would go directly to the businesses. So we would buy high quantities so we get them at a lower cost than just the consumer buying it, like off the shelves in a store. And then in a warehouse, we would start with us for the first year. And then as we can expand, we would grow with more employees. And we would be putting the products on the boxes that we acquired from these different companies together. And we change each month with different companies. And then from there, we would ship it out to our consumers.
Okay, and so that leads to the follow-up question, which was, I didn't see in your financials anything in regards to product that spoils or goes bad. If you're having that every month, you're changing the product. Do you anticipate any products that you wouldn't use based on unsold boxes or a product going bad? If so, where is that in your financials?
I think that we anticipate the products that we buy, they would last for more than just a month. So if we didn't use it in the product for this month, we could use it maybe a few months later with it still being good to be able to use.
Thank you.
Excellent. I will just follow up briefly on that. So great presentation. Thank you so much. Similar to Scott, I had a question about distribution costs, because you are shipping out these boxes to all of your customers. And I'm not sure that I saw that in your financials either, but ultimately just wanted to know how you guys thought about how these boxes will get to customers and how that might drive some costs for your operation.
So I think we have customers who will have to pay for shipping. So I think that will kind of cover our costs mostly, that we have to ship these boxes out. It's kind of embedded in the cost of the box to ship it out to the customers.
Okay, very good. I'd love to just ask a quick follow-up question, which is, you guys are very clear on your demographic and who you think might be buying your box, your product. But where do you think, how did you assess that there's demand for your product and for the box?
When looking through the market, we started to realize that a lot of our customers that wanted these boxes were middle-aged women who like to cook and stay fit and stay active. So that was the market we were catering towards with healthy foods. And like the Health Nut box, we had different recipes that they would like to try at home for their families to get them active and continue their lifestyle. So that was the market we looked at.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Very good. Thanks.
I guess I'm the last one with the questions. Thanks for the presentation. You mentioned that there isn't a big tech component to your offering. So I'm wondering, when it comes to the fees that are going to the lawyers and the developers, and also the patents, first off, like, what are you patenting? And two, what that breakdown is of the lawyers versus the patent versus is that a software developer, I should ask, by the way, or developing of something else?
I think it would be just more to develop our product and like our boxes, like themes, like logos, stuff like that, to help build our business so it's more recognizable brand. Since it's products and we're buying that from other businesses, there's no real technology that needs to go in making a box. You just have to make the boxes and just put the products inside. Also, we have an experience package, which we use cards to make. So we have to develop each month new recipes and activities that are going on Long Island. So that's pretty much what we would use a developer for, stuff like that.
Okay, got it. And I'm just realizing now in the sheet, that line is patent lawyers, developers. That's just fixed into the sheet itself. That's, yeah.
Follow-up question in regards to your cost of client acquisition. You mentioned that social media was not an area that you were going to be investing in. In your research, did you look at other subscription boxes to determine what was driving the material amount of channels? Because I would counter saying social media is a very crowded space. You have very high revenues and acquisitions associated with customers here. I'm just curious why you didn't choose to look at a social media spend budget, which is a big driver in the subscription industry.
I think to start off, we would use just regular basic social media. And then I know you can pay for ads and stuff like that. So I think once we acquire more customers and more subscribers to our box, then we would look into buying actual ads on Instagram and Facebook. So our products will make sure that we're really getting to the customers that we think will actually buy our boxes.
Thank you.
Thank you for the questions, judges. Now we will take 5 minutes for the judges to please input their scores. And the next team, Online Olympia, you should start getting ready to go. I'll start 5 minutes. Okay, thank you, everyone. I'm proud to present our next team, Online Olympia from New Hyde Park Memorial High School. You guys
Thank
can
you so
start.
Is everyone ready, by the way?
Ready.
All right, good. Okay, I'm gonna start now. Toga, toga, toga. I'm trying to find students for my sorority, but it's so hard for me to find them.
I have the solution right to your problem. Online Olympia is a virtual platform that allows sororities and fraternities to conduct their entire recruitment process all through our website.
Online Olympia is a website which embraces tradition and adapts with technology to create a new world for people to connect with each other.
It has been a struggle to contact and connect with students.
We hope to combat this problem and help sororities and fraternities with our website and online services by creating a proper channel for sororities and fraternities to find members for their chapters. So I offer to you Online Olympia. Hi. Hi, my name is Samid Wasi. I'm the CEO of Online Olympia.
Hi, my name is Helen Thomas, and I am the CMO of Online Olympia.
Hi, my name is Jacob Verghese, and I am the CFO of Online Olympia.
Hi, my name is Naomi Khan, and I am the CIO of Online Olympia.
Let's take a deeper look into the customer problem. Ever since the COVID-19 pandemic has hit us, communication among the students has become very minimal. For college students, it can be a hard and a hustle to find the right people with similar interests as themselves. Furthermore, it can be even difficult for sororities and fraternities to recruit more members and stay afloat during the pandemic. This is a niche market that is predicted to go online, so it is important for us to create a platform just for this sake. Without us, college students cannot easily connect and enjoy that thriving experience of Greek life.
According to the Interfraternity Council in June 2020, with COVID outbreaks reportedly linked to rush parties, Greek social events held for the recruitment of new members has caused a ban on in-person recruiting.
According to Jenny Chang, who is the Pan-Hellenic Vice President, in February 21 stated that this spring was the second in a row that sororities reported a drop in recruitment numbers. Fewer than 450 students rushed a sorority this spring. From these two quotes, we hope you can understand a little more about how the pandemic has disrupted Greek life organizations from the lack of connection it has caused.
So how does Online Olympia really work? How do we connect college students with sororities and fraternities? Online Olympia has one main key feature, and that's our questionnaire. Our questionnaire measures the students' demographics, personal interests, and professional interests. After the questionnaire that students takes, they will go through each sorority's profile by tapping right on the ones that they're interested in and left on the one there's not. After a certain duration, sororities will get a list of the students that they're interested in, and this way students can find the best sorority and fraternity that are available for them on campus.
I will now give a brief overview of the user experience on our website. This is the iOS and Android view of the website. Students can sign in through Google, Facebook, or Apple, or they can create a local account. This is the questionnaire the students will take in order for them to receive their personalized list of sororities and fraternities. They can fill in their information or choose from a drop-down menu. We will also have software to connect with college databases to verify students' identities. Here they can choose a list of colleges that we work with, whether they want to join a sorority or fraternity, and the type of sorority or fraternity that they would like to join. Here, the students can choose an appropriate profile picture, and this is a view of a fake sorority profile on our website. The sorority is introduced to the student with their logo and an estimate of how competitive the sorority is, which is measured on a 5-star basis. The sorority then includes other relevant pictures to represent them. Here is an event that the sorority has participated in, a photo to represent that they are a STEM-oriented sorority, and lastly, this is a biography of some information that the sorority would like to present to the students.
Our target market is made up of both college students as well as sororities and fraternities. We first plan to target them in Long Island, schools which are from Nassau and Suffolk County. For us, it's important to target schools who are also known for their Greek life. When it comes to the students, the aspect we all love about Online Olympia is the diversity, meaning we know anyone can be an Olympian, regardless of their race or religion. Whether you have been in a sorority or fraternity or not, we hope you can understand that we are opening a door for everyone and that they will be able to have the opportunity to be a part of something that will be with them for the rest of their lives. As times change, so does the way we market toward our specific consumers. Social media will be our greatest marketing allies. We plan to use it for posting potential members enjoying our product, using it as a way to hear feedback from our customers, as well as also remain well connected with our target market. We also plan to use location-based marketing, meaning we will place ads for specific locations to draw interest to Online Olympia. We plan to do this as our company continues to grow nationally, so we can bring growth to Online Olympia. We will do co-events with colleges, from creating our own booths at expos or orientations, as well as co-sponsoring a sorority or fraternity event. We will also include student ambassadors as a way to represent Online Olympia.
Online Olympia is different because there are no platforms like us where there is a proper channel for recruitment. The other important factor of Online Olympia is that we offer so many features that are accessible to our customers, which are just one click away. Another yet important reason why I believe we have an advantage over our competitors is because we provide free questionnaires that can take minutes for getting the right answer for you to begin your right journey with a sorority.
So our vision, how do we plan the next 3 years? We've broken down this into 6 stages, all the way from setting up our base operation to our expansion into New York City and upstate New York. Our timeline. We're breaking all these 6 stages onto a timeline so it can be better represented. So for instance, stage 1 and 2 will be setting up our base operation and reaching out to sororities and fraternities. Then we will continue to expand and market ourselves. By stage 3, we'll be receiving our first batch of revenue as students start signing up and sororities start recruiting. In stage 5, we hope to diversify and brand ourselves, and instead of hiding behind the shadows behind sororities. In stage 6, we hope we will be all set to expand to New York City and upstate New York, as well as tapping into the national sorority market, which can boost our revenue up to 4 to 5 times. This is what our target market can look like at the end of year 3. So for instance, we will be tapping into New York City at the end of year 3, and you're also using the SUNY system to give us a hand upstate to tap into that market as well. Many people do not understand the true sheer size and the culture of Greek life that New York City offers. For instance, our $234,000 revenue in year 3 comes from only 138 sororities in Nassau County. Comparatively, there are over 500 plus sororities and fraternities in New York City. This can boost up our revenue immensely. Furthermore, there are only 30 major colleges in Nassau and Suffolk County, while there are over 110 universities and colleges with over 500,000 students in New York City.
Finances, and more finances. Before we get started, I would like to mention that after receiving input from our semifinal judges, our startup costs and our expenses have significantly changed for the betterment of our company. For instance, our startup cost will now be $127,600, and it will include and incorporate different expenses such as research, professional fees such as patents, lawyers, and website developers. Moreover, we will also set aside 10% for all unanticipated costs. This is how much our projected revenue will look like in the first 3 years, as you can see in this chart right below. We will include 2 major streams of revenue. The first one being an initial charge fee, also known as a flat fee, which we will charge $700, in which every sorority will have to pay to be published on our website. We will also charge 4% commission fee on every student that gets recruited through our website. This process will begin at the beginning of each semester. That is our recruitment season. What you can see here are a list of expenses that we have that will nurture the growth of our company. For instance, since we are a service-based company, office supplies and equipment will play a necessary role in our company. For advertising, we plan to increase the amount of money per year. And when it comes to salaries, we aren't allocating any, but rather we plan to reinvest as money as possible so that we can grow back into the company in order to receive continuous exponential growth. And talking about exponential growth, this is our projected exponential growth for specifically year 3, which we have $234,000 for our total sales revenue. And for net profit versus net loss, we go from a net loss of $34,000 to $152,985 as a net profit. And the reason being is, like we already mentioned, we are here to target 120 sororities by year 3. We also plan on recruiting 2,000 students, and that is our vision altogether.
So why should someone invest in Online Olympia? We are Online Olympia and we're targeting a market that has not yet been tapped into, and it is a market that is predicted to go online.
We are Online Olympia. We have a quick startup and have room for exponential growth.
We are Online Olympia and we have minimal to no competition.
Joining a sorority or a fraternity isn't an experience, it becomes a part of you.
Join us and help us revive the Greek life. Thank you. We will now graciously take your questions and feedback.
Thank you, team. I'll turn it over to the judges for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you very much. So if I'm not mistaken, on your marketing slide, you had something mentioned about being in-person events. Did I see that correctly? As one of the things, like college conferences or something along those lines?
Naomi, can you go back to that slide, please? Marketing, yes.
So you have co-host events. Okay. So at these events, these would be events, say, on a college campus, you know,
Yes.
where you're talking to students. Okay, here's my question. If you're on a college campus talking to students in person, why is this product more valuable than traditional efforts as COVID ceases to become a material issue stopping schools from going back in the fall?
Thank you so much for your question. The thing is, as we continue, New York is being vaccinated, and that causes a lot of restrictions to be held up. So our target market really does not stick to watching traditional TV and commercials. So a better way to connect with them about our product is definitely through talking to them or like whole events, so they can like experience it and like in a way have a preview from our co-events.
Right. So just for clarity, you're going to meet people in person to talk about this. The reason this product, as I understand it, is viable and valuable is because it is providing a sort of digital first experience to helping sororities that were hampered by COVID from doing so because they couldn't do that, giving them a digital channel. So if you're basically talking as if those restrictions will be gone because you yourself will be doing events to sell folks. I guess my overall point is, do you feel that the lifting of restrictions as we go back to normal, or whatever new normal is, come the fall, as we've seen with New York City schools being an example of that, do you feel that this product will have as much viability when COVID is no longer the material restriction-based issue it has now, and why?
Yes, we do believe that it will be valuable because even with or without the pandemic, sororities and fraternities did not have that proper channel to recruit members or find any members. For instance, some sororities like the chapters and Big Littles, they always ended up messaging us on random hours. So this will definitely help us.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. I had the very same question that Scott had, but I have two other quick questions, hopefully. So my first is, if you guys can just talk a little bit about why you think this platform is needed in addition to or incrementally to the social media platforms, which can have, you know, group pages that are dedicated to the various sororities and fraternities. How is this really differentiated from that?
If I may take this question. So the reason why this is different is because a lot of times we are targeting specifically the recruitment process of sororities and fraternities. There are no other apps or anything that targets this specifically. And also, when sororities and fraternities, like, they tend to go through unprofessional routes to go have an online platform. Like, for example, they may start an Instagram account, and then they'll DM students that they believe they should join their sorority, right? And they'll recruit them by saying, oh, can you send me your information on Instagram DMs? And it'll be at awkward hours of time of the day. And we just want it a more professional platform for sororities and fraternities to do this. And also, it's difficult to trust random Instagram accounts that want your information for college, you know?
Okay, great, good answer. And then I saw, I think on maybe it was the next slide from what you have up, there was some reference to having, I think it was a bunch of features that were going to sort of be differentiated from any other, you know, service out there. And I would just love to hear a little bit more about what are all the special features that you think will really, you know, be accessible to customers and really differentiate this platform.
Yes. So to answer your question, we have additional features when it comes to Online Olympia. And one of our main key features is, like I mentioned, our questionnaire. And it measures students' demographics and their professional interests, and also their personal interests. Other important features is announcement features, calendar features, and also our group chat feature, which is for big and little as well.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. Thanks, guys. And very entertaining presentation also. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely great presentation. I'm curious, how did you arrive at this idea at all? Like, you're all in high school, right?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, we're all going
Wait,
to.
can Sumi take over?
Yeah.
Thank you for asking this question. So how did we come up with this idea? So we're seniors going into colleges, and all my life in high school, I've been part of clubs and like chess clubs or like business clubs and stuff like that. So sororities and fraternities I was looking into that as I was going into college. So as Naomi and Helen have both mentioned before, sororities would like DM us at like very awkward hours, and we would know who they are. And then we were like, this is a problem. And then furthermore, I talked to my peers who are in colleges, and they were like, yeah, they were thinking about joining sororities and fraternities, but everything's online, they're not in person. So that's what I came up with. I was like, wait, this might be an actual problem that we can actually solve. And I genuinely want to solve this problem because I'm gonna have a first-hand experience from next year as going into college.
I love solving a problem you're gonna experience or you are experiencing. But I'm curious, as a follow-up to that, given your background, have you spoken to any actual fraternities or sororities about your pricing model and your offering and your one-time fee and commissions and that whole model? Have you validated that this actually works?
We haven't told them the exact pricing, how that works, but I contacted a few sororities at my college, Farmingdale, which I was going to. So they were like, yes, our recruitment has been there. We've been decreasing ever since the COVID-19 pandemic has hit us. And I talked about what if I offered you a product that could help you online, you could recruit online. And they gave some positive feedback. They were like, yes, we would be very much interested. But I didn't mention the pricing yet because the pricing has been changing a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna, thank you, team, great job. I am gonna jump in, and now I will give the judges 5 minutes to please input their scores, and I'm gonna ask our next team from Edward Murrow High School, Globalert, to please start preparing to present. Thank you.
One thing I would like to mention is because after receiving feedback from our semifinals, our expense sheet and our startup cost sheet has relatively changed. So I would like the judges to take into that consideration when judging.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Next, I'd like to introduce Globalert from Edward Murrow High School. Team, let me know when you're ready to begin.
We're ready.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Today, I will present to you Globalert. We're breaking down language barriers.
Could you start from the I'm sorry, could you please start from the beginning? My system was not working somehow.
Sure, why don't you just go ahead and start again now?
Okay,
Go back to the, okay, good?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Today, I will present to you Globalert. We're breaking down language barriers in a sleek and safe way. But before we get started, I would like to share with you these heavy and heartbreaking stories of real people and real situations.
This is Mara Alvarado, who was recently attacked and shot at her job. When her neighbor called 911, it took over 10 minutes for the operator to understand her. Unfortunately, Miss Alvarado died of her injuries because 911 took too long to reach her in time.
Spanish-speaking father called 911 to save his son who was choking. The dispatcher didn't speak Spanish, and by the time he found an appropriate translator, the father was forced to run to the local fire department for help. Too much time had passed, and his son did not survive.
This is my story, and this is my grandfather, Leonid Kozak, World War II veteran and cancer survivor, was 85 years old when 911 misunderstood him. One morning, he began feeling unwell, and so he called 911. Because they did not bother to call a translator and did not completely understand him, they went to the wrong apartment. I was later told that he could have been saved. All of these people suffered horrible consequences due to 911's inefficiency and misunderstanding.
My name is Dennis. I'm the CEO of Globalert.
My name is Adriana, and I'm the CMO of Globalert.
My name is Ekaterina, and I'm the CFO of Globalert.
My name is Seema, and I'm the CIO of Globalert.
It takes an average 911 translator about 55 precious seconds to come on the line. This is 95% of all calls, while the other 5% could go unanswered for up to 3 minutes or more. Every statement from the emergency caller needs to be posed in English, translated into the designated language, then answered by the caller in distress, and finally translated back into English to the dispatcher before any action begins. The Globalert Watch is a game changer because we're instantly in contact with the caller in their designated language and have all the information on them in our system.
We conducted a New York City-wide survey, and an overwhelming elderly immigrant majority expressed that they were interested in our services. An additional 89% are looking forward to using Globalert even past the pandemic, proving that we are truly timeless.
This is our client. Let's call him John. John has two options on how to access Globalert's translation services. When using our digital watch, he simply has to press the side button of the Globalert bracelet if he starts to feel threatened or unwell. We already have his medical condition on file, and which offers an efficient way of saving his life since there's no language barrier and the interpreter can send the signal to 911 right away. This way, we provide a large supply of interpreters and save a great amount of time during an emergency. His other option is to access Globalert services through his phone. If he doesn't want to buy the watch, he can just apply for a monthly subscription. A subscription would give him an ID phone number for his specific language, which he could call anytime. We'll start off with providing 6 languages: Spanish, Russian, Arabic, French, Italian, and Chinese.
Globalert offers a subscription service for $29.99 a month. Along with the subscription, we also offer a watch at $139.99 that enhances Globalert's experience due to its various functions, such as measuring clients' heart rate, sugar intake, number of steps, and pill reminders that elderly tend to forget. Parents of kids and older kids of elderly parents can also monitor the distress signals that the watch produces and keep track of the people they care about.
We'll be focusing on adult children of immigrants who are aged 30 and above who live in New York City with an income of about $90,000 to $200,000. They're caring and considerate. As a secondary market, we'll be focusing on elderly immigrants who are 60 years old and above. They live in New York City. They are non-English speakers, but they do value convenience and safety. And while we focus on these two demographics, we also acknowledge the usefulness of our product to those who have verbal issues, such as the deaf and those people who are mute. These are all of our competitors. And they all attempt to tackle this issue of the language barrier. Telelanguage, for example, works directly with 911 to translate their calls. But as we saw in previous examples, there are major flaws in the system. Universal Doctor is an app that one may download when visiting doctor's appointments, in which they have a selected number of phrases that you may translate into your preferred language. However, there are phrase limits, and the app is extremely outdated. Moreover, Paragra Health is just like this little booklet that paramedics use when they receive non-English patients. However, this is not used by the masses, and therefore does not solve the language barrier issue.
Unlike your competitors, Globalert is like having a security guard and a nurse right by your side, except everything is transferred into this one sleek bracelet, which has a location tracker to pinpoint the exact area of trouble, which could save a lot of time during an emergency. Pill reminders for elderly and personalization in design are endless. We are the first hybrid ever to break down this language barrier that immigrants have faced for decades. This is truly life-changing because it creates a world in which interconnectedness meets efficiency.
Radio and medical podcasting channels will be utilized in immigrants' native language to appeal to their ethnic background. Social media ads will be spread throughout platforms such as Facebook and Instagram to attract adult children of immigrant parents. In order to reach out to elderly immigrants, we'll publish our ads through newspapers and magazines, since older people tend to read print media.
Our first year, Globalert will be focusing on the 5 boroughs of New York City due to a large immigrant population of 3.6 million people and more than 600 languages being spoken here, giving us a chance to pick up more languages in the future. Our second year, we will be expanding to New Jersey, since their immigrant population is over 1.9 million people, and they also reside on the East Coast, which makes this more convenient in terms of geographical proximity. And finally, year 3, we plan to expand to Miami, with them having a large immigrant population of 2.2 million people and also residing on the East Coast.
Most importantly, Globalert is immigrant inclusive. Immigrant lives will no longer be lost due to 911's inability to communicate with non-English speakers. While competitors might try to steal our idea, they'll have a hard time keeping up since we are expanding our service to have more languages later on. Like any business operating during these trying times, there's a potential threat of closure due to COVID-19. In these times, elderly immigrants have not felt safe with COVID-19 being so prevalent in their lives, but we've got their backs.
We created this 3D model to break down the cost of each bracelet component. And as you can see, it costs $83 to manufacture this bracelet. However, we are pricing at $139 to ensure maximum profit.
For our startup cost, we will invest $35,000 into research and development to create the perfect watch with the best components available on the market. Next, we researched the cost to lease a property, and usually renting an office big enough for us in New York City will approximately cost us $5,000 a month, and so roughly $20,000 for the first couple of months. For our professional fees, we would pay our lawyers about $10,000 to $20,000 to create the patent, and pay our developers $57,000 for their supplies and work. For advertising, we will spend $10,000 in total. Specifically, radio podcasting platforms will cost us $200 a week, as well as newspapers, $250 per column, and social media. We plan to spend $2,160 for 3 months.
We reevaluated some of our finances and came to the conclusion that our first year, we will have 9 people working in each of the 3 shifts for $15 per hour. This would bring us to approximately 1 million spendings on employees our first year. Each year, we will double our customer count with our increase in customers, which will double our salary spendings. In addition, we would plan to make about 5,000 watches our first year. 1 watch takes $83 to make, which would land us at $450,000 spendings. With a small increase in customers we expect our second year, we decrease the production spendings and then pull them back up our third year with more customers coming in. In years 1 and 2, we increased our spendings on advertisement to convey the message of continuous improvement, hook more people onto our brand, and get more employees. In regard to our expenses such as website rent and professional fees, the costs will mostly stay unchanged except for supplies and tech. Our final spendings will be concentrated on paying off our startup costs to our investors and on our personal salaries.
For our extension strategy, we would target children who live in large cities whose parents are paranoid about their whereabouts. Additionally, We will develop new models that reflect advancements in technology and introduce variety of subscriptions.
For our exit strategy, we plan to merge with telelanguage to provide a large supply of interpreters. We then plan to have an initial public offering of Globalert to general stockholders to help pay off any accumulated debt.
Globalert is taking care of the most vulnerable and overlooked populations. With your support, Globalert will truly stand the test of time beyond COVID-19 because we are saving lives in a sleek, safe way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, team. We'll have 5 minutes of Q&A from our judges.
Thank you. Before I get into the questions, just a good lesson for everyone here. The best businesses come from solving something you've experienced and a challenge you've seen firsthand. So kudos to the team. Obviously not, unfortunately, the subject matter that caused it, but really great to take life experience and solve a problem that you see firsthand. All right, I want to work, this is a two-part question. I want to specifically talk about privacy. Obviously, right now, there's a massive debate in the public regarding the privacy of consumer-related data. I see a lot of information around the bracelet or the watch as far as manufacturing costs. However, I've seen no spend in regards to the software-related costs. So my first question is, where are those costs associated in terms of the actual software that makes the technology work? Can you explain how that is factored in to your plan?
Yes, I think I can answer this question. In our startup cost, we included $35,000 for research and development. That will cover the expenses for software development for the watch.
Okay.
Data,
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I apologize.
For the data, we will only have the information that our clients are okay to provide. We will have their permission to use this information and for their help.
Okay, so someone on the other side of the line, okay, so someone in your call center, your translators, your customer service team, whoever is actually there. So if I have a heart condition, is that call center agent on the other side going to know I have a heart condition? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead, I'm sorry.
They will know because everything on the bracelet is encrypted. Your past conditions, the problems that you have faced in your medical history, everything is encrypted. Of course, with the acceptance of this privacy, we're going to have access to it. So that's why there won't be any time lost, because the person who's on the end of the line, they will be aware of your conditions, and that would save a lot of precious time.
Yes,
so
we are making sure to have every client's medical condition and information on file in order to save time and have this efficient product.
Okay, so the one area then, and this is the follow-up question that I haven't really seen a lot about, did you do any research on data security, HIPAA compliance? Obviously when you're dealing with medical history, I can understand that a watch, because you've seen like what Apple can do based on manufacturing, might cost X in the physical product. However, the major expenses in the infrastructure associated with the protection of all of that data, because obviously, as I'm sure you all know, if you were hit with a data breach, that would be a massive issue. So was there any research done, and can you explain what type of research was done specifically around privacy, data security, or HIPAA compliance?
For privacy, we have made sure that, we will intend to make sure that all of our clients and customers, their information will be protected as much as possible. And we will not be stealing any information or using information to our advantage, because our intention is to help the people.
We have not necessarily researched the cost in order to the financial side of the protection, unfortunately. But we will take this into consideration, and we are glad that you brought it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, great presentation, guys, and I really like your concept quite a bit. My main question is, why did you feel that you had to manufacture a bracelet or a watch to do this, and not just make it part of an app, downloadable app to the Apple Watch or another device like that?
I think I can answer this question. The watch is to produce just to ensure that the quality is the best. Watch is an optional just feature that you can purchase and use. For example, let's say your phone is dead and you need emergency right away, as well as the watch makes sure that you're able to just access quickly. For example, with the app, it will take you time to open the app and connect with us. And the watch is just to press two buttons and you will be helped.
Additionally,
To add on,
Dennis, sorry, the watch itself will have a lot of qualities. So there would be step intake, water intake, pill reminders. So it's a little, it's a optional thing to buy with subscription, yes, but it will have a lot of qualities that would help an elderly during their day.
I see. Okay, great. Thank you.
Looks like we have one more question, and looks like I'm the question asker.
Yes.
One, thank you for the presentation and for sharing your story. That's obviously it's unfortunate circumstances, but good ideas do come from your personal experience. So, with respect to is the main offering here the watch, or is it the service, or is it the combined? I'm just a little bit unclear here as to where you're actually driving all of your value here. You said one is optional, but then you said both are optional, so which one is actually optional?
The watch is optional and the subscription is the service we provide. This to become our client, you would have to purchase the subscription, and then the watch is the optional variant that is used to just ensure the quality and efficiency of our service.
And the subscription gets you access to 24/7 translator capability in your call center, and the watch just reduces the time to get service from your call center, essentially.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, teams. Great job.
All right, so that wraps up the first group of presentations. Great job to everyone. We'll do a virtual round of applause for them.
Everybody, Caroline is passing the virtual baton to me, and I am going to be your official timekeeper for the remaining 3 teams this afternoon. Before we get into that, I just wanted to say congratulations to you all so far on doing such a great job with your presentations. Doing this virtually presents a challenge that most of us as adults have never encountered before. So kudos to all of you for doing this virtually and doing such a phenomenal job. So we have lanes currently on deck, I believe. So from Academy of Finance and Enterprise. So if you want to start to get your presentation ready, let me know when you are ready to go, and I will start the timer. As a friendly reminder, I'm going to hold up 2 for 2 minutes as a 2-minute warning, and I will also type it into the chat.
So sorry, our team member, her Wi-Fi just cut out, so we're having some technical difficulties. She's trying to get back on right now.
Okay. RM, should we wait a minute for her to get back on, and then, or should we go to the next team? What do you think?
Let's give it a minute, and if not, we'll have to start with the next team first. Yeah. Thanks.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Her Wi-Fi is not going to be on for a while, so you could please move to next team.
All right, thank you for letting us know.
Thank you. Keep us posted. If you need to send us a message in the chat, you can to let us know if you have any questions. So moving along, we have Young Opportunity from Brooklyn Technical High School. Okay.
You can see my screen, right?
I can see your screen. Yep. You might just want to go to the beginning of the slideshow. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And let me know when you're ready to start. I have 10 minutes on the clock.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's get started then. Hello, my name is Brian. I'm the CEO.
Hey everyone, my name is Thomas. I'm the CMO.
Hey everyone, my name is Aaron and I'm the CFO.
And this is Young Opportunity. As one of the many Brooklyn Tech students, we require 50 hours of volunteering service to graduate. However, me and my fellow students have had issues finding opportunities. Even before the pandemic, it became even harder to find opportunities due to the suddenness and physical disconnection caused by the pandemic. If you look in the top right of the slides, there's a bar graph showing the amount of young volunteers pre-pandemic and mid-pandemic. The demographic is ages 12 through 17. As you can see, the graph shows a massive decrease in volunteerism from 2019 to 2020. However, we have found a solution for this. Young Opportunity is an aggregator service that will be able to connect students to various opportunities such as volunteering, internships, and mentorships. Our service has a free subscription and a premium subscription. For the free subscription for the individual, it will allow for profile building as well as limited opportunity browsing. Limited opportunity browsing disables filtering and the ability to see niche opportunities. For the organizer, they will be able to explore profiles as well as fit applicants. For the premium subscription for the individual, they will have full access to the browsing features as well as resume building and drafting tips. Additionally, they will also receive a verified profile, which will add to their credibility and trustworthiness. For the organizer, they will be able to use an automated service hours recording, which will track their volunteers' hours, as well as being able to organize events such as blood drives, toy drives, interview sessions, and mentorships. Additionally, they will also receive a verified profile, which will allow for more secure and reliable. And onto the prototype website. This is our login page. It has many links to other resources, as well as allowing users to log in using their Facebook, Google, or Apple account. Now onto the marketing.
All right, thanks, Brian. Well, now that we've covered our story, let's answer the question of how do we plan to market to appeal and retain our customers. So first of all, as teenagers ourselves, we know that the most prevalent social media platforms are TikTok and Instagram. And I myself cannot go a day without using Instagram a few times. So we definitely know that putting social media ads on TikTok and Instagram will be able to draw in a good amount of our target market. We'll also be partnering with the New York City Department of Education, and we'll cut a contract with them. This will not only be able to bring us lots of revenue, but since we'll be working with a government agency, we'll actually be able to establish high credibility and we'll be able to be seen as a legitimate company. Third, we'll appeal to companies through elite students. What does this mean? Well, in the first 3 years of our campaign, we'll be appealing to the schools of Brooklyn Tech, Stuyvesant, and Bronx Science. And if you know anything about those schools, those are the 3 specialized high schools of the New York City area, and they are often considered elite schools with elite students. So once potential clients start seeing that Young Opportunity is working with these elite schools and these elite students, they will most definitely consider working with us. So for keeping customers, for the individual, we plan on constantly recommending them programs based on their interest, history, and preferences. So say, for example, I'm a med student and I'm looking into med internships. Young Opportunity will constantly recommend me things such as med volunteering opportunities and internships and stuff like that. This will be the same for the applicants in the perspective of organizations. We also help build local communities. So if there are 20 volunteers within a 1 mile radius of a certain organization, Young Opportunity will help that organization find those 20 volunteers. And not only will it help to consolidate their own organization, it'll build a sense of localized community. And we actually surveyed 40 volunteers and tech students. teachers from our school and our principal, David Newman, to see if they would approve of and use Young Opportunity. And we actually got 100% approval rate. I want you to keep in mind, this is our exact target market, high school volunteers, schools. And yeah, the fact that we got 100% approval rate from our target market means that we have infinite potential right here in New York City. So what sets us apart from the competition? Well, first of all, we're an aggregator for internships. I bet if you tried to name one off the top of your head right now, you probably couldn't, because I can't, and I know I've done my research. We're also looking at an untapped customer population. So as a New York City student my entire life, I've never been able to use anything like Young Opportunity. And even if I wasn't running the company, I'd actually use it myself. And I want you to keep in mind, there are 1.2 million students in the New York City area. That is 1.2 million possible licenses that we can sell. And also, we built Young Opportunity for the pandemic. It'll last long after the pandemic. Business longevity entails that since Young Opportunity just makes the process of finding opportunities much easier, it'll be able to last even after the pandemic ends. And here are some points that I touched on before, partnering with the DOE and elite clients, and will allow for community building. So here are some things that we expect to happen in the first 3 years. So in the first year, we'll be partnering with Brooklyn Tech, and we'll be offering discounted prices. We'll be doing this because we'll be testing a beta version, which means that not all the features have been completely added, and we'll constantly be adding more or taking away some with feedback. Also, we love our school, so yeah, discounted prices. In the second year, we'll start appealing to the other specialized high schools that I discussed earlier, Stuyvesant and Bronx Science. This will effectively double our usage to 12,000 students. In the third year, we'll start marketing to other schools such as Midwood and Townsend Harris High Schools. And to hit some future projections, I provided you a chart in the top right to show the high school density in New York City. And if you're looking at it, you can definitely see that we have a lot of potential right here in New York City. Now let's move on to some numbers with the area.
All right, thank you, Thomas. Firstly, with you guys, I'd like to discuss some startup costs. And there's 2 points of the slide I want to draw your attention to. The most notable is that our startup cost is minimal. It's highlighted in blue. You can see it's $69,000. Now, the reason our startup costs are minimal is because of we're going to employ telecommuting, which the pandemic has shown to be an extremely efficient means of working. Workers working from home have higher productivity rates and a tendency to work longer. Now, as a result of telecommuting, we can cut down on costs such as building lease and rent or office supplies, and the first of which building lease is marked as 0 for you guys in the sheet. Also, from your perspective, the guys who are investing into, or girls who are investing into our company, which has a low startup cost with practically infinite horizons, mitigates a lot of risk. Secondly, there are 2 major components contributing to the cost that we have derived. The bulkier of the 2 lies within the research and development. We use other websites as reference in terms of hours, and the local web developer cost in our area to come out to about $40,000. The other major cost is the social media advertising Thomas mentioned earlier. That's about $10,000. Now, moving on to the revenue, I want to point out 3 things. The total revenue is highlighted in blue, and it's progressively increasing each year as my other 2 points, as the direct result of my other 2 points. Now, the first year where we introduced the product to Brooklyn Tech, it'll be a modified beta run, which Thomas mentioned. As you can see in years 1 compared to 2 and 3, the price of each product is essentially half of what it is in years 2 and 3. It explains the large gap in the generated revenue. Secondly, our projections show that we are to also progressively increase our customer population. As a direct result of the increased credibility and planned timeline Thomas discussed earlier, you can see both the individual and school premiums are increasing each year. Now, finally, the expenses. There are 4 points here that you should notice once again. As always, the total costs are highlighted in blue, and they're increasing each year as we expand our service. Hosting more servers and providing maintenance on these servers, because we will have an increase in traffic over the years, entails a greater cost, and the specifics are highlighted under tech and computers for you guys. Also, as mentioned before in the startup costs, the cost of materials, labor, rent, and office supplies are mitigated because of telecommuting. Our workers will be working from home, and we do not need to spend our resources where they're not needed. Those 4 things are also marked as 0 for you guys in the spreadsheet. Further, each year we plan to pay off our startup loan with 5% of our revenue. That's the last thing under selling SG&A, and that's progressively increasing with our revenue. And finally, the cost and revenue of each year net out to 0, and we avoid paying tax on the business itself. You can note this under taxes marked at 0. Now, finally, let's discuss some future projections with Thomas.
All right, thanks, Arian. So here's some things that we expect to happen after the 3 years. So first of all, we cut a contract with the DOE, and we actually know how to do this because we actually called up the DOE the other day, and we found out exactly how to do it. Right? If you want to learn about it, you can definitely ask questions, and we'll definitely answer. We'll also start appealing to more schools within and outside New York City to spread Young Opportunity. we didn't mention this before, but we'd actually be renting servers from someone such as Amazon, because one, it is much cheaper than buying our own servers, and two, we don't actually have to buy any space to house them. And to address some concerns like that I've heard before, Amazon will basically be protecting our servers. And we'll also be establishing our own headquarters. We think it's more on your mobile device. We think it's more accessible to access an app rather than a website, especially on your mobile device. So we'll be creating our own app. And last but not least, we'll cater to clubs within schools.
And to conclude, we would like you to join us in this young company for this young opportunity.
Hey, great job. Okay, judges, I'm about to set 5 minutes on the clock for Q&A.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the presentation, guys. And you guys got ahead of me on the DOE partnership. Although a question, I would say two questions, actually. First one is your target buyer, the person actually purchasing this, the student?
Right, so basically we're going to be selling the licenses in bulk to schools. Like if you know anything about Zoom, they partner with the DOE and they've sold like bulk licenses to schools.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what you can do is either buy it on your own, or if you're a school, you can buy it like for your entire school. So yeah, it's either you can buy as an individual or you can buy it as a school.
Okay, do you have any sense for the school? I'm going to get to that in a second because that was the follow-up part of that. But just to follow up on the student side, I assume that they're going to need a credit card in order to purchase.
Yeah, if you're buying it individually, but like if your school is providing,
that, right?
it,
Just but the student need a credit card. Do we have a sense of how many students in New York City would have credit card access directly?
Oh, I can just talk on that. It's not, if the student is looking to buy, obviously they're more often than not, a student is living under the household of their parent. And if the parent sees that this is a highly credible company, like Thomas talked about, with partnering with the DOE and whatnot, they'll offer to, pay and support their child in progressing their career.
Understood. Okay, going now to the DOE portion. You said you know how to do a DOE partnership. The 2 points on that is, number one, I noticed your lawyer's fees were $1,500. I would like to hear the DOE contract process in 15 seconds or less and how you would do that on $1,500 legal. I don't think they could have a paperclip for $1,500, but that's personal opinion. Go ahead.
I guess I can take the first part of this question, and then I believe Brian can handle the second part. The DOE is a future projection, and so we didn't include it in our startup cost. The $1,500 is more so for the company logo or the name to patent that or to get a copyright on it.
Got it. And then the final follow-up is the DOE, you made a very conscious decision to make the DOE the partner. Does that mean that the DOE has to approve this in order for it to be sold in schools, or can, say, your principal who you interviewed make a decision outside of the DOE?
Brian, you want to get this one?
Wait, could you repeat the question, please?
Sure. So the DOE was a conscious decision to partner. My question is, if the DOE didn't happen for whatever reason, or ultimately said no, could a school anywhere in New York City make the decision to do this partnership themselves, or would they be prohibited from utilizing anything that is not DOE approved?
I am not completely sure about that, but the school can fill out a form and try and get it approved.
I can just jump in on that. Yeah, we're not particularly exclusive with the DOE. The schools, and like Thomas mentioned earlier, we can market to just clubs or within a school or just the school. The DOE is not our, it's not something that we need to reach our schools.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. I have one fundamental question, which is, I don't think I heard much about how you guys are going to be sourcing all of these volunteer opportunities and where that information comes from for students to be able to, search a database for these opportunities. Could you guys talk a little bit about that?
Right, you guys want me to do it?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, we plan on marketing to companies too, like there's stuff like the Red Cross, nonprofits, stuff like that. Yeah, we basically just plan to market to them. Like we might like go to them and talk to them. Like this will Young Opportunity will help you. And they might definitely consider it. And also, it's free to join. It's absolutely free to join organizations too. So if they wanted to join, they wouldn't actually have to talk to us. Like it's free. It's free for basically everyone to come in.
Thomas, I also think you mentioned that for companies, we're going to be using the elite clients and the fact that our schools are so prestigious to market to these companies.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, what I've been saying before, we'd be partnering with the first 3 years. We'd be partnering with the elite schools, Brooklyn Tech, Stuyvesant, and Bronx Science, and those are really big selling points. Like if you're working with these elite schools, then this company is definitely something you want to work with. So yeah, legitimacy through good clients.
Okay, so and maybe just a quick follow-up. Have you built in sort of the cost associated with marketing to the causes and ensuring that you have, kind of updated information in your database about volunteer opportunities? Is that part of your cost model?
Oh, so you mean to market to companies and whatnot?
Yeah, and make sure that you have sort of a constant flow of information from them, so there's an up-to-date database for the students
for now we kind of would market to these companies through conferences or in person, but social I guess companies can also be active on social media platforms such as Facebook or LinkedIn and whatnot. So we definitely factored in that cost in the financial sheet.
Okay, great. Thank you.
First off, I just want to say thanks, Mr. Pratt, for being an advisor here. He was also my advisor when I did the Young Entrepreneur Association at Brooklyn Tech all those years ago. So just wanted to give him a special shout out. My question for the team here, going off of what Gabriella was asking you about here, is you have a two-sided marketplace where you need a certain amount of opportunities for it to be attractive for students to be on your platform, and you need a certain amount of students for it to be attractive for organizations who need talent to want to invest the time and the resources to actually get on board. So I'm wondering, how did you arrive at your business model where you're making it free for the organizations that have lots of money to join your platform, but then charging students who may or may not have access to funds to get onto your platform, and which one should go first if you kept your exact model, where one is free, one is not? Who do you go after first, or how do you get them both to grow?
You guys want me to take this one, or you got it?
Yeah, let's see what you got.
Okay, so as Brian mentioned in the beginning of our presentation, there is a free subscription and a premium subscription. The free subscription is available to both the individual student and the company, as well as the premium, which is also available to the individual and the company. So for a company to present themselves on our website, that is free, like you mentioned, and obviously the company has a lot of money, so they can choose the premium route and verify themselves on our website. But the student can also join the website for free and find some opportunities, of course limited, but they're still present, and they can join our website and look through it like that. So it is not vital for the student to have funds, but it is beneficial for them to pay for our service.
Yeah, and to add on, like if a major company is offering internships and stuff like that, most of the time they'll actually be paying their students. So the students actually get something out of it too. So yeah, just to add on at that point.
Okay,
thank you.
We're out of time for questions. Great job, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go back to Lanes from Academy of Finance and Enterprise.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay.
Good afternoon. We are from the Academy of Finance and Enterprise High School, here to present our business idea, Lanes, the app that will allow you to bike faster, safer, and easier. And this is our team. I'm Gwendolyn Oh, the Chief Executive Officer.
I'm Kelly Wong, the Chief Financial Officer.
And I'm Madeline Oh, the Chief Marketing Officer. So there are 48,800 bike commuters in New York City who bike through constant car honks and loud crowded streets. With all these distractions, there's yet no specific app that fully ensures the safety and comfort of these commuters. So you might be wondering what the problem is. Well, the problem is that biking is dangerous in loud crowded cities. Because the pandemic has disrupted our social interactions, many are trying to rebuild these connections by turning to biking to avoid using public transportation. But with this growing biking community, many are still afraid to commute through the streets of New York City. This unfortunate situation has also affected our motivation to stay healthy and in shape. Due to these disturbances, bikers are hesitant to use biking as a fun, safe, and healthy transportation method. So come on now, there's got to be another way. Well, let me introduce you to Lanes. Lanes, we are the solution. Lanes technology will locate the nearest bike lanes, direct you to the fastest and safest bike routes to your desired destination, as well as announce directions throughout your journey. In order to ensure the efficiency of users, Lanes will also have access to real-time feedback from bikers themselves, which will notify us the traffic details and road blockages. By making a safer biking journey, we're encouraging an environmentally friendly and healthy alternative to transportation. So you can now forget about the hassle of standing in subways with limited ventilations and crowded buses. We encourage you to bike using Lanes so you can now social distance while traveling around the cities with friends and families and revitalize your social connections in a safer, easier, and healthier manner. Our target market includes bikers who ride for recreational or commuting purposes ages 15 to 30 who live in New York. Especially during the pandemic, biking is one of the safest ways to get around the city since you aren't being confined to small spaces that are prone to spreading the virus. Besides safety, biking is also a good way for people to get in their daily exercise for those who are uncomfortable with going to gyms or other public spaces with more people. We also plan on targeting people who are environmentally conscious since biking is one of the most environmentally friendly and efficient modes of transportation since it doesn't contribute to the emission of pollutants and other harmful gases that are produced from cars or trains. Currently, Lanes will be creating an open line of communication with the Department of Transportation to get more insight on changes within the city regarding bike lanes or roads, so that we can update our app to give riders the most accurate information available. We will also connect with Vision Zero and Transportation Alternative, which are nonprofit organizations that advocate for change in the city to make commuting safer. By connecting with these organizations, we are able to build awareness on biker safety and how Lanes will be a solution. In the future, Lanes plans to expand to larger cities such as Portland and Minneapolis, which are cities with a large biking community, as well as partner with local biking attractions and foundations so that we can help more bikers complete their commute safely and efficiently. Because we are a new company, Lanes also plans to continue to improve and advance our technology and software. We conducted a survey with our teachers, friends, and potential market and asked them how uncomfortable they felt when biking in the city. Majority of our sampled population answered yes, which is why Lanes would be the best solution to allow users to commute with ease. So how do we plan on marketing Lanes? Well, we plan on marketing Lanes through our social media presence and Google Ads, where we would be able to geo-target our advertisement next to bike shops, city bike stations, and bike racks. We also plan on sponsoring New York City's annual 5-Borough Bike Tour. The 5-Borough Bike Tour is a tour in which the vast majority of New York City's biking community come together to ride around the 5 boroughs. By sponsoring the bike tour, we would be able to connect with more bikers and introduce them to Lanes. Additionally, we want to partner with Bike New York, which is an organization that hosts several biking events. Participating at these events would allow bikers to get exposure to our app, thus increasing our user count. Some of our competitors are Google Maps and Apple Maps. Both of these locational services provide biking directions to users. However, they don't locate the specific bike lanes. Instead, they only locate general routes to your destination, leading to bikers having to ride side by side the dangerous traffic. This is why Lanes is the better alternative for bikers. Because we provide our users with these specific bike lanes, we are promoting a safer commute. So now that you know a little more about our app, Lanes also offer a premium subscription that provides users with additional health data, such as calories burned and average heart rate. This can be calculated if users connect their fitness watches through our app. This also allows users to track the mileage and incline of their rides and provide exclusive pre-route routes. These routes include mountain trails for mountain bikers, scenic trails for calming adventures, and quick rides for fast exercises.
Now let's take a quick look into our company's financials. After receiving feedback from judges during our semifinal round, we made noteworthy changes to our financials. So, when planning up our starting costs, we made decisions based on how well we can benefit the company. These expenses include research and development, technology, professional fees like copyright and insurance, advertising, app testing, and app maintenance. We come to a total less than $190,000. With the unanticipated cost for emergencies of $19,000, the loan needed to start a business would be a total of $208,000. As for our revenue, we found that there are two ways to make profit, from our premium subscription and from our advertisements. After researching apps on the market and consulting as a team, we decided to increase our premium service price and ad prices. Our first service is a premium subscription, which is an exceptional addition to the user's needs by providing health data taken from connected smartwatches. We've adjusted the premium cost from $3.99 bi-monthly to now $6.99 monthly, making the yearly cost for an individual $84. To determine our potential customer count, we took an estimate of New York City biker population and assumed 25% would download our app. That number is approximately 12,200 people. From that specific population, we are hoping 15%, about 2,000 people, will purchase our premium service. The premium subscription will have an estimated revenue of $168,000 for the first year. Our second service will be our banner ads. These are your typical advertisements but placed on the bottom of your device's screen. The great thing about banner ads is that they allow the users to see both the ad and the app all at the same time, causing no interferences. Our partnering companies love this because their store locations are provided on our app, allowing customers to stop by their business while taking a ride on their bikes. Ad payments are not paid per single ad, so companies would have to buy bundles of ad slots. Originally, we planned to sell 250 bundles of 1,000 ad slots for $1. However, after doing deeper research, we found it to be more reasonable to sell bundles that contain 100 ad slots each for $1,000. As the company grows, we will attract more businesses to purchase ad slots as projected in our table. Our second service will have an estimated revenue of $150,000 for the first year. Our total revenue for both services will be $318,000 for the first year. Based on projections on our 3-year plan, our revenue will grow up to $1.1 million by the end of the third year. And now, of course, in order to generate revenue, there has to be some money spent to make that product. Our adjusted operating expense comes to a total of $260,000 during the first year. These expenses include staff costs, building lease, rent and utilities, hardware and software expenses, loan repayment, legal services, advertising, app maintenance, and Apple and Android commission. Now, you may be wondering what Apple and Android commission is. This is a fee that we have to pay for every download taking place on the App Store, Google Play Store, and our Galaxy Store. Every download costs $1.20. We took the estimated sales we would get per year and calculate the approximate amount. During the first year, we calculated 12,200 customers, so that means we would have to pay approximately $15,000. Of course, this value may change due to the flow of our customer count, but hopefully this value will increase. Our net profit for year 1 will be approximately $56,000 with a profit margin of 17.5%, which means every dollar revenue that we make, 18 cents goes into our pocket as profit. As you can see, Lanes is a beneficial app as well as a profitable investment.
Thank you, and we hope you can all download Lanes today and bike faster, safer,
and easier. We are now open for questions.
Okay, great job, everybody. Okay, I am putting 5 minutes on the clock for questions.
Thank you, Kristen. Okay, so guys, I just want to make sure I have the product right before I ask the question. If I'm a biker, like right now I'm listening to you all through my AirPod Pros. So I'm a biker. Am I going to be able to hear like turn-by-turn biking directions where the bike lanes are? Is that the basic premise? If I'm the biker, that's how I'm going to learn about which ways to go?
Yeah, so we have a function on our app that allows you to announce the direction. So if you don't have like a stand for your bike available for your phone, then there will be this button that you can press that will announce the directions before every turn so that you'll be able to understand which road you have to take before, making it more accessible for the users.
Okay, so I'm going to move to your revenue model then with that understanding. Roughly half of your revenue is associated with banner ads. I would make the argument that it would be very dangerous and problematic to be having my eyes as the rider focused on an ad. Therefore, if I am the ad provider, I know that the engagement is very low. Did you guys do any research or get a sense of what kind of needs the advertisers will want, or what makes you think that an advertiser is going to want to put banner ads onto an app that is meant to give directions? Because even in a car, as an example, with turn by turn, the screens will say, focus on the road, do not concentrate here. So it seems you are creating a business model that could potentially be dangerous, therefore ultimately encourage advertisers not to participate. Can you explain that?
Well, yeah, banner ads, they don't really disrupt your ride because they're going to be placed on the bottom of your screen. It's just like a little tag on the bottom that just advertises the business that we want to promote, or they want.
Right, but I'm the
to
ad.
purchase
But if
our
I'm the
banner.
advertiser, Gwendolyn, right? I want you to click my ad, buy my product, etc. So I want it in your face. I want you to be clicking on it. So tell me why you feel your product makes sense from a banner ad point of view, when in theory you are trying to minimize that, and the additional side of it is I am using it to do turn by turn directions. What was the logic of that decision?
I'll take that from here. So when you are biking, there is red lights, so you have to stop. So the purpose of putting banner ads on the bottom is that you can still see the direction that you're going to before the light turns green. So you can still see your directions, right? But also on the bottom, we're gonna add an ad over there. So while you are looking at the directions and the light still hasn't turned green yet, you can look at the ads and then see, oh, this is actually interesting to me, and our advertisers will be like, hey, this is not a bad idea. So we can put that there, and they can see both the ad and the app use itself.
Thank you.
So love the presentation. My question has to do with some of the startup costs, and where within your startup costs is there the cost of having to map all the bike lanes in New York City? And then when you go from city to city, where else are those costs?
Yeah, so from the starter costs, that would be in the research and development. So along with research and development, we will be mapping out the different bike lanes and taking constant, making constant updates on our app to update based on the current map of like New York City, and make sure that we get all the new roads that are being implemented so that we can be able to provide our users with these new data.
Okay, and have you factored those costs in on an ongoing basis also, as obviously construction happens and you're adding in new cities, et cetera?
Yeah, so those costs would be in the unanticipated cost of $18,900. So if we do have to prepare for any of those unexpected costs, they would be in the unanticipated cost.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Do you have a sense of the percentage of the population that is riding a bike? One, how much of their own riding is actually on bike lanes versus the rest of the road? And two, your survey that you had, most people, or 66%, I believe, of the population are afraid of riding the bike. Did you ask why they're afraid of riding the bike?
Yeah,
So
so we asked,
questions.
oh, sorry. So we asked them how uncomfortable they felt when biking in the city. So this takes into account biking on the roads, or what's going on with current navigational service and what they're already provided today. So when we took this survey, we asked them how uncomfortable they were, and 64% answered yes. So they were uncomfortable with the current navigational services, and also with how they have to ride side by side the dangerous traffic.
So I guess what I'm ultimately asking here is the conclusion that people don't ride more, or many people are afraid to ride their bikes because there are not enough bike lanes, or they are not aware of how to get where they're going by bike lanes?
They're unaware of actually finding the bike lanes, because as a biker myself, I always try to look for the bike lanes, but none of Google Maps or Apple Maps are actually able to like find you the direction that faces you to your destination only on bike lanes. They would show you a blue line that can occasionally touch the bike lanes, but you would not actually know where it is.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Okay,
If you
great.
don't mind me, sorry. If you don't mind me adding on, for our app, actually, we have designated bike lanes, so you can see the literal bike lane, and this is going to be the entire route. So you won't be going on the sidewalk for a second and then going back to a bike lane and then going onto the road and then back to a bike lane. So it's just going to be one path.
If you get this off the ground, I'll be your first customer.
Great job. Thank you so much, Lanes. Okay, so we have our final team, CerebroTech from WT Clarke High School. Mark, judges, are you all good? Students, are you all set?
Just before we start the presentation, I want to let the judges know that our PowerPoint isn't going to be up at first because we start with a little skit. And also, I just want to make sure that all of our teammates are visible on the screen. So there's like a thumbs up if you could see all of us. Okay, good. So for my teammates, are you guys all ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So we're ready to start now. Hi, we're the founders of CerebroTech, a productivity company.
Wait. 1 second, I'm getting a text.
Gina, Ryan, this happens all the time. In my Zoom classes, everyone's zoned out.
They're not paying attention. Their cameras are turned off. It's very unproductive.
Sorry, it's hard to focus. I haven't been in a real classroom for over a year.
COVID-19 has impacted everyone, and now we're starting to make progress with vaccines and the economy. But we've yet to address one issue: education.
Many students have struggled in school throughout the pandemic, which will affect the education system for years to come. CerebroTech is here to show students that productivity lies in their hands by helping them find their focus.
I'm Anti Agarwal, the CEO of CerebroTech.
I'm Ryan Foudy, the CFO. I'm Raheem Sheikh, the CMO.
And I'm Gina Trin, CIO.
In light of COVID-19, schools across the country have transitioned to online learning, which fails to engage students. We did a survey of Long Island students to validate this and found that 69% feel unfocused in their online classes. A survey by the AEP also showed that 56% of teachers covered less than half of their curriculum this year. Finally, younger consumers care about the environment but still use plastic. 79% of plastic sits in the US landfills, and Cerebro provides a biodegradable alternative.
Our survey was directed towards high school students on Long Island to show how students have fared during virtual learning. Next, we consulted with occupational therapists, OTs that work with students, including students with disabilities. Lastly, we used scientific articles to design our product with the latest technology and eco-friendly materials. From our research, we learned the attitudes and needs of our audience. Our product is a handheld productivity cube called Cerebro. Ryan and Anjali are showing printed 3D models. It is made of thermoplastic starch and will be available in 4 colors: black, green, blue, and our signature purple. Cerebro includes a twisting joystick, 2 programmable LCD screens, a 4-button joypad, and sensory surfaces.
Each face engages students with different stimuli while simultaneously strengthening their focus and memory. There's no specific productivity center in the brain. Instead, our product aims to train a network of regions that make up our brain's attentional system, while giving users a way to track their progress. Students can improve cognition while having fun, and parents will love it too.
What makes Cerebro unique is that it can pair with our app by Bluetooth. This product-app combination yields long-term focus building and anxiety-relieving exercises. Our app uses UX design to be user-friendly and modern. As shown in settings, students and parents will be able to create time restrictions, preventing Cerebro from becoming a distraction during school. We'll also provide difficulty modes that allow students of different age levels to advance on their self-improvement journey. One of our strengths is that Cerebro is affordable while maintaining high quality, since we use thermoplastic starch. We also plan to follow federal guidelines like the CPSC, ADA, and AOTA guidelines, which improves our credibility and accessibility. Finally, our use of high-end technology helps us reach new customers. Our first weakness is our limited industry and media presence as a new product. This will be remedied by our thorough marketing plan. Although Cerebro is a one-time purchase, we hope to have in-app premium plans and sponsored content to create new revenue streams. Online schools started the trend of digital education, and we must continue to provide for student needs. More schools are emphasizing mental health and sustainability, aligning with our values.
Second mover competitors may try to replicate Cerebro, but we plan to file for a patent to prevent infringement on our intellectual property. General bias against mental health may hinder our goals, but this will be offset due to the growing needs of our users. Finally, as a new product, we need to establish our place in the industry.
Our primary demographic is teens ages 13 to 17 or high school students with a middle-class household income of $60,000 to $160,000. Our secondary demographic is university students ages 18 to 25. These users can afford our product and download our app. Geographically, the Office of the Queens Borough is looking for opportunities to grow as New York City's future tech hub. Also, since New York City schools face the most challenges with safe conduct due to COVID-19, we hope to begin operations in Long Island City. Then we'll expand to Uptown New York City and Brooklyn.
Students with a short attention span or unstable schedules would benefit from Cerebro, as they struggle in learning environments. People interested in productivity through the use of work timers would be more likely to use our app to monitor their progress.
Hannah Michaels is our primary user profile as she is a 16-year-old high school junior. When Hannah purchases her Cerebro and downloads our app, she can pair her device and visit the activities page. By engaging in tasks to improve her manual dexterity and focus, which are difficult due to her ADHD, Cerebro helps ease external stress associated with college applications.
In our first year, our product will be sold for $34.99 with a 75% profit margin. Standard fidget cubes sell for around $15.99, but we use high-end technology to meet your needs. Our prices are similar to other handheld gadgets, like an Xbox controller. Sure, a consumer can purchase a mundane, black and white fidget cube, but by paying the extra amount, they can take advantage of the digital revolution.
From our warehouses, we will first ship through online channels, like our website and Amazon, and then to in-person channels in the future. Most media traffic will be directed to our website.
In phase 1, our first strategy is using TikTok's 15-second format to reach our primary users. We aim to modify standard advertisements to spread brand awareness through digital marketing impressions. Many high schools and colleges have created stores to sell supplies where we plan to supply Cerebro to boost brand recognition and credibility. We also hope to attend school fairs, specifically educational trade shows, where we can reach our primary consumers alongside other technology companies.
In phase 2, we aim to enter the world of productivity technology. We plan on reaching out to author Dr. Sanjay Gupta for promotions, and we also plan on attending trade shows, starting with the New York Tech Expo in April 2022. With these, we can build credibility. Finally, education professionals and parents trust print media. To reach them, we plan to use Psychology Today for print and digital advertisements.
Advertising makes up most of our first year costs, as we plan to spread brand awareness early on. Our professional fees encompass our legal fees, trademarks, and patents. We also rent a storage warehouse and shared workspace for maximum efficiency. Our cost of goods sold ratio will decrease over the next few years because as our prices go down, our production costs will follow. After the first phase of our marketing strategy, our outreach and wages ratios will decrease also, but our charitable donations will remain consistent due to our core values. In our first year, we project a sales revenue of $437,375. From here, our revenue will only grow each year. Our estimates are conservative, as they only account for 1% in New York City students in the first year, 2% in the second, and 3% in the third. We believe that our true profits will far surpass these levels.
Customer acquisition costs show us how much we spend attracting users. Through customer retention rates, we can track how many of our users maintain loyalty to our services. Finally, customer lifetime value shows us how our average customer contributes to our overall success. Our metrics follow our users at every phase of their Cerebro journey.
We worked with OTs in helping all students, including those with disabilities. Our activities parallel those of a special ed classroom, except ours are combined in one platform, saving time and money. By donating 1 cube for every 10 sold, we will also help underprivileged districts across NYC, as shown through our charitable donations.
In June, we plan to develop our product and apply for several guidelines to reach a wider range of students, which will take around 3 months. In August, we plan to enact our first marketing phase, right in time for back-to-school shopping, followed by research in January and our second marketing phase in April. In September of 2023, we plan to expand to Uptown New York and Brooklyn to include in-person distribution channels.
Although it is unlikely that we will have to use them, our exit strategies were crafted as a precaution. First, we would try to have CerebroTech acquired by a software company like Digital Dream Labs based in hands-on educational technology. Otherwise, through liquidation, we can cover any outstanding debts we may have.
Thank you for your time. Cerebro aims to help young adults feel confident in their classes through digital and physical focus training. With your help, students will find that productivity lies in their hands, and together we can all find our focus. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Great job, everybody. Excellent. Okay, so I'm putting 5 minutes on the clock for our judges.
Thank you, everybody. As a parent of 4, I don't think I'm alone with any other parents that may be listening in today that want to take every device my child owns on a daily basis and burn it, throw it out a window, and hit it with a car. So my question is, you talk a lot about the channels of marketing, but I think a big thing around this is messaging. I'd like to understand how you are going to convince parents that more screen time and more tech in this moment is the right psychological decision for their children. That's my first question. I'll follow up with the second after the answer to that.
Well, just to start off, so our product is intended to replace certain screen time on their phones with something that might be more productive for their use. So as parents, you probably know that your kids aren't going to listen to you when you say, put your device down, don't use your phone. They're still going to be using these devices. So rather than fight against that, we want to work with kids and show them something that they want to use, something that they want to use to get better themselves. By doing something that the kids would want themselves, they have a higher chance of actually succeeding and moving on with their progress. And also, just to add on to that, the average student uses their phone several hours during the day. We would intend to replace a percentage of that, perhaps like 1 hour of their total screen time, or even just a few minutes of their day. And these are small steps that they can use to sort of shift from Instagram and TikTok and Twitter to something that might be more beneficial to their overall studies and overall success in the future.
Great. If you could move now to the financials, you talked about, I believe, in phase 3, I believe that was 2023, that you'd be looking at in-person distribution. I'm assuming you meant retail. Is that correct? Retail distribution. I saw Walmart and a few other logos there. Number one, I just want to clarify, at what point in your revenue projections would traditional retail begin? That's the expansion and distribution section in 2023?
We plan to distribute I'll go back to slide. I'll try to find it. But we're planning to distribute first to things like bookstores, which already sell products like ours, and
so like a Barnes and Noble, for clarity.
Yes, and such as local bookstores that exist in New York City, and they are places that already promote productivity.
Understood. So my follow-up question then, this is the question because I want to be good to the other judges. In your financials, can you I think you mentioned your gross margins around 75%, again, give or take. How are the retailers being paid?
So the retailers would be, well, first of all, we would focus on entering into the retail market, the bookstores in year 2. So that's when this part of the plan would start. Regarding retail, it would be an additional fee along with cost of goods sold. It would be similar to kind of what the user would be paying for when they are shipping.
Is that factored into, so in your financials, have you factored in the retailer's margin into your cost of goods sold? Because it looks like it's pretty consistent. So I was unclear. It doesn't seems like COGS are going down, but obviously a retailer might take upwards of 55% in order to be on shelf. So how does that compute?
I just also wanted to add off of what Ryan just said and say that when we market when we distribute to retailers, which will happen in the 3rd year, we will selling off our website would be cheaper than buying it from, say, Walmart, as Walmart would mark up their price. And our total COGS on the slide that's on the screen right now, it's as a percentage of our yearly revenue. So the number itself is increasing, but as a percentage of our revenue, it's decreasing.
Thank you.
I actually have no questions. I thought it was an excellent presentation, so thank you very much.
I have just one. Part of the value over a traditional, let's call it analog fidget spinner, is the connected side and I guess like the programming and the content that's in your app. So how how is that factored into your financials and the constant upkeep and development of that content? Where does that fit in on your financials?
I'll just start with the financial part, and then I can pass it on to Raheem to further explain the second part to that. So the research and development aspect of our expenses is where we are putting our time into really developing the activities to match the latest information that we are receiving from occupational sources, scientific articles, and other parts of our research.
Yeah, and then just to add on to the app and product combo, our app would be free to download, and as Ryan mentioned, the product is $34.99. And we wanted to emphasize that our product is a SaaS, so it would be able to update due to the cloud, and that would also help remedy this.
Follow-up question. How are you looking at manufacturing the cube, and take me through that process that you thought through in your financial picture?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Do you want to take it? Or?
Oh, I could, yeah. So we outsource our production to India, and that's actually per federal guideline. We would have to disclose that on our packaging. So we outsource to India, and we ship it back here over to the United States, and that factor is, we account for it in our cost of goods sold.
Thank you.
Okay. A very big round of applause to all of the teams, a virtual round of applause, an actual round of applause. I should get some of my kids' noisemakers, their toys, to congratulate you all. You all did a fabulous job and should be very proud. Take a nice deep breath, got through it. And again, just want to recognize each of you for doing a presentation virtually. Like I said, this is a skill that most business professionals have not had to do before, and entrepreneurs haven't had to do. So kudos to all of you for doing such a great job. So Aram, I think I'm gonna kick it back over to you.
Yep, thanks, Kristen. And once again, thank you to all our teams. An excellent job in presenting virtually. Judges, we will send you to a breakout room for your final deliberations. Okay, and while we wait for the final results, we will hear some closing remarks. First, we have a surprise cameo from business leader, investor, and television personality Damon John. You may know him as the founder and CEO of FUBU, or see him on the ABC reality TV series Shark Tank.
What's up? It's the Shark Damon John here, and a huge congratulations, student teams, for your hard work and commitment to JA's New York's business plan competition. I know being remote presented its challenges, but you did it. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors as entrepreneurs, from one shark to a bunch of fellow sharks. Congratulations.
And hope you enjoyed that. Now our president, Joe Perry, will give some closing remarks.
Okay, thank you, Aram. Wow, you guys really knocked it out of the park today. These presentations were incredible. I don't think you missed anything by being online as opposed to being in person. You really, they were sharp. You all were well prepared. The ideas were great, and you all did a fantastic job. So congratulations. I think that one of the things that you need to keep in mind, and we need to keep in mind, is that this is a very demanding project. And one that asks you to do things that many adults would find challenging. Come up with an idea that's innovative and that will make a difference in the world around you. Build that idea as a team with all the compromise and the communication and the dialogue that entails. And I'm sure there was a lot of back and forth throughout this process, coming to consensus. And that's part of what teamwork is all about. And then another really important part of this is thinking critically through what it would take to make an idea reality. So these are all, incredible skills that I think hopefully you've gained as part of this process. And, you rose to the occasion, and you not only did it, you not only did these things, which are a difficult thing under any circumstances, but you did it in this incredibly, challenging virtual environment. We all have learned that it's not quite as easy to, build a team and brainstorm and collaborate in this remote setting that we've all been working in. So again, I just want you to know that we all recognize the extra initiative that it took and the perseverance that it took to get you here to the finals today. And we're really proud of all of you. Our hope is that you'll take this experience as a finalist in the competition with you. And if you are an underclassman, we'd love to see you back next year trying again. If you're graduating this year, congratulations. And we hope that you'll remember this experience as you move on to the next phase of your life, whatever that is. Perhaps some of you are actually thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, or maybe some of you already have, another career path in mind. And probably a lot of you are still figuring out, what the future will hold for you, and that's okay too. But one of the things you can be sure of is that, you all have the potential in the world to reach whatever goals you set for yourself if you apply the same kind of initiative that you did during this process, during this past year. You will be successful in whatever you put your mind to. What I'd like to do now is share a video message from our founding sponsor, Chris Anderson. Back when this whole thing started, Chris was, as a member of our board of directors and as an entrepreneur himself, kind of had his own idea about, how do we create an entrepreneurship incubator program for high school students to really try to drive some of the learnings and the experiences that you guys have had this year. And that really was the beginning of this idea for the business plan competition. And, we've had in the last 14 years, over 8,000 high school kids have gone through this program. And we've gotten so many positive responses back from kids. And you see Awad today with us, who was one in that one of those initial teams 14 years ago. We've had a lot of people come back to us over time saying, this was really a kind of a pivotal experience in their development. So I think you're going to really remember this as you think back on it and as you move ahead. But I want to play this video with Chris, and I want to just say a couple of things when you watch this. First off, this is Chris Anderson is over 80 years old. So he was in JA when he was in high school. So think about how long ago that was. And he credits JA with really starting him on his career path. I will tell you that the video was homemade, so it's a little choppy. But I really want you to listen to Chris's words, more than the production values of this video, because he's got some really interesting things to say. So let's play the video.
It's my pleasure to give the closing remarks to the Janney New York Annual Business Plan Competition. My name is Chris Anderson. I am the founding partner of GZ Anderson Partners, a boutique investment banking and advisory firm. I've been a member of the Janney board since 2004 and serve as vice chairman of the executive committee. JA gave me my first experience with business over half a century ago, and I guess it's now payback time. As the founding sponsor of this program, I've been proud to see it evolve and expand over the years and become more demanding and rigorous as the competition has grown. I want to congratulate you for your perseverance, your ability to be flexible and adapt to the changing situation, which quite frankly, I probably couldn't if I were sitting out there where you are. These are very, very uncertain times, and these strengths that you are learning are very, very valuable. Before the winners are announced, I want to emphasize that no matter where you place, you have achieved something real and meaningful during this extraordinary time. You were given a complex problem and rose to the challenge and took the risk to create something that was new and innovative. If you compare your original ideas today to what it was back when the program first started, I hope you feel proud of what you've achieved during that short and chaotic time. My first JA company failed, but my team managed to pull it together, reorganize it, turn it into a better company, and return a profit to our shareholders. That's the kind of flexibility that you need to have and learn. And the earlier you learn it, the better off you are in the business world to come. I encourage you to keep thinking like entrepreneurs. Be innovative and willing to adapt and learn and try again. These traits will help you succeed in a world that is changing faster than most of us could possibly imagine. While in the US today, we cannot track our alumni to see what they have accomplished, but we do know from Europe that their alumni who start one business by the end of 10 years have started 4 or more. So my first failure was really just part of my journey to success. So I'll close with one more thank you to all of you for participating, and students for your hard work and for your determination. All of you have much to be proud of. Share your adventures as you change the business scene of the world in the future. You never know where it will lead. My first venture was an ugly plastic nut and fruit bowl. It failed almost immediately. In the background here with this film, you will see some pictures of my latest entrepreneurial enterprise. It's an extraordinary pig farm for a unique breed of pig, the Mangalitsa. How does an investment banker entrepreneur wind up in as a pig farm? Trying to bring a new product to market is very, very difficult. And without many, many years of trying other projects, I would have given this up probably 5 years ago. I use this simply to illustrate the fact that you can start out making a nut bowl and wind up at the end of a 50-year career raising a absolutely delicious pig. Entrepreneurship is an adventure. I hope you all enjoy it, and we hope that you will keep in touch with us so we can learn from what your experiences along the way. Thank you very much, and thank you for being here, and great success.
Okay, so Mr. Anderson, more than 60 years after participating in Junior Achievement, is still starting new businesses. And I couldn't agree more with what he said. He hit the nail right on the head.
All right, we will be bringing it back slowly. I'll just wait for the rest of us to join us. Thank you for having your cameras on. Really appreciate it. And it's good to see everyone here, although virtually. Let's just give it a moment. All right. So without further ado, I'll pass it off to Joe.
Okay. Thanks, Arm, and thanks everyone for waiting. As you can probably tell from the delay, it was probably not an easy decision, which doesn't surprise me because I think all the plans were terrific, and I think we've all seen that today. So we're going to get to the announcement in just a minute, but once more, I want to say a thank you to everyone for being with us today. Let's get a quick round of applause for our judges. I think they did an awesome job today. Thanks, judges. Really appreciate your time and effort on this. And also thank you to the JA New York staff for pulling this together. You guys did an amazing job throughout all of the virtual parts of this and throughout the whole semester. So thank you, JA New York team. Okay, so here is the final listing and the final announcement of our winners. So in third place, we have Globalert, the team from Edward Murrow High School. Congratulations, guys. Excellent work. In second place, oh, and by the way, that third place prize carries a $500 gift for each of the participants, each of the team members. So you'll be getting information on that shortly. Okay, in second place, it's Lanes from the Academy of Finance and Enterprise. Congratulations. That comes with a $1,000 gift for each member of the team. Congratulations to Lanes. All right. And the first place team this year is CerebroTech from WT Clarke High School. Congratulations to CerebroTech. You will receive $1,500 per team. Congratulations. All right. Thank you again to all of our participants. You all winners today. We really appreciate your being with us. Appreciate all of your efforts. Arm, is there anything else we need to say before we wrap up?
No, I think it's all good. I think we'll try and get a screenshot of the winners, but we can do that at the end.
Okay. Terrific. All right. Well, thanks everybody again for being with us. And hope you all had a great time during this adventure this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, everyone. Great job.
Nice work, guys.
Congrats to everyone.
Thank you. Congratulations. That was great.
All right, thank you, everyone. So please, first, second, and third place teams, please hang around so we can take a screenshot, but also connect with you about the next steps. Again, congratulations and thank you to everyone. Great job.